Ladies and gentlemen, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Welcome to Trailblazer Radio. More specifically, welcome to the Author's Alley. I am your host, Mr. Frederick Beatty, and I want to thank you guys so very much for tuning in with us tonight, man. You guys could be anywhere else, but you guys are right here, and we most definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with us and rocking out with us, man. We got a great show for you guys tonight. A very prolific and very talented author that's gracing the stage with us tonight, and we're gonna have a great conversation. But before we do that, I want to just throw a couple announcements in real quick, man. First and foremost, man, continue to like and follow us on our Facebook page at Trailblazers Radio, also on our Instagram page at Trailblazers Radio, and also continue to also subscribe to our YouTube channel on Trailblazers Radio. That's where we upload all our shows. So you guys please like and subscribe to that. And I just really want to give some shouts out to some people, man. I mean, and I want you guys to forgive me for just a second. I want to give a shout out to my brother, to my boy No Muzzle SK for his for his new line, the Only One Promotions and Apparel. Got a chance to meet with that young man yesterday and had some great conversations, and also got a great piece of gear from him. So you guys go check him out on his Facebook page at Only One Promotions and Apparel. He's got hoodies, got shorts for you, got t-shirts for you. They're customizable, so go check him out. Also, man, I want to give us another special shout out to my two hosts, Quint Jones and Coco Fenton. They've been amazing on this journey that I've been on, of being a podcaster, and also they've been instrumental in helping form this particular podcast to what it is right now. And I also want to give another special shout out to my sis Angela Thomas Smith for being an instrumental person in helping shape and mold me to where I am right now. And also just want to give a shout out to God, because without him, honestly speaking, none of this is really possible. So if if he didn't have the presence of mind to have my mother and father come together and make me and my brothers, then none of this really wouldn't exist. So I really got to give the biggest shout out to him. So I really want to just thank all my listeners, all our fans, all our followers for just hanging in there with us and rocking out with us while we do this, man. Um, it's been a long journey, but the journey still isn't over. So we got more things coming down the line. So just keep your ears and eyes keep your ears to the ground, and keep your eyes forward with us, man. But enough about all that. I wanna introduce the young lady that I have in the building with us tonight. She's gonna grace the stage for us tonight, man, and just really talk about who she is, what she does, and a whole bunch of other things, man. I got the privilege of meeting this young woman through a mutual friend, um, Mr. Russell Tyson, who has been who is who has passed along a couple of people along to me, Micah Clark, and also this young lady. This young lady is an author. She's an author. She's a prolific writer. She also is the owner and the founder of a wonderful nonprofit that we're going to talk about later on in this broadcast. But I want to introduce to some and reintroduce to others a good friend of mine, a person that I've learned that I've actually really become to like because of something that she sent to me to read and also edit, and I couldn't put it down, and we're gonna talk about that. So I want to introduce to you guys Miss April Jackson Hunter. What's up, sweetie? How are you?
Hey, this is my Mr. Miracle Wave.
She said, "Miss America Wave." All right, that's how we do. That's how we doing it on a Friday.
Today, yes.
That's what's up, man. I feel you, man. I feel you. So besides that, your Friday's been okay?
I've had a Friday. I'm agreeing with you on that, but I'm here, and this is the best part of my day right here.
Really?
Absolutely. I've been waiting for this moment like all day. I've been lit.
Oh, damn. She said she been lit all day long.
Waiting.
All righty then. So without any further ado, we just gonna jump right into this thing then, okay? So I know that for reading something that you sent to me to edit. You're a writer, and I'm gonna say a damn good one at that.
Thank you.
So how long have you been doing this? How long have you been writing?
I mean, I dreamed about writing, to be honest with you, when I was a little girl. And I never really thought that I would make that dream come true. but it wasn't for. I said life has a funny way of coming full circle. Um, I kept a journal when I was going through domestic violence. One of my counselors suggested I keep one because I was having some real bad insomnia issues and stuff. And she suggested I start keeping a journal, and that just kind of reignited my passion with literature. I've always been an undercover nerd. I love reading books, so that was just kind of like set fire to my flame. And like 10 years after that, I birthed my first book, Mercedes Closet: Keeping Deadly Secrets.
Wow.
So
So
yeah,
you've been doing this for a while.
I've been writing poems and little knickknacks that I kept, what I'm saying, for as far as I can remember. But I never dreamed of actually putting them together to formulate a own book. People can say I had a passion with literature. I loved reading, and I always dreamed I would be an author. But my life and start going a whole different direction. I kind of like put that idea
To the
to
side,
bed. Yeah.
man. So since you've been doing this for a while, who do you think or who do you look at as your main influences? Do you look at any authors for any influence, any other authors, whether they're known or unknown, or do you look at other things for influence?
Listen, I love Stephen King. I love
Who?
Stephen King. I do. Like I love just reading his books. Like I actually sat down and read it. I had
Really?
nightmares for a while, but I read it and it was a very good book. I just like Stephen King. I like reading Maya Angelou. I like reading Zane. I just like reading. Whatever, if it's good, I'm gonna read it.
That's funny. That's funny you mentioned that because a lot of folks that are a lot of authors, but were readers first before they
Yeah,
became authors. And
I love.
you're inspired by Stephen King, the horror master.
I love taking things in my head and just putting it on paper. So like just being how far I can go with my imagination. That's why I chose fiction because I really like just letting my imagination just run wild. I do.
Wow. So you like the horror master. So what about his writing? What about his writing kind of attracts you to that type of style?
If I'm not mistaken, I know that he said that most of his books come from bad dreams, like dreams he had. Just like to move like the gory stuff out your head on paper is kind of like a form of healing. That's
Ah,
how I actually got on my healing journey from my domestic violence was words. It was writing. It saved my life.
that's what's up. I think a lot of us when we go through those tragic moments, we turn to writing or journaling as a way to express what we feel and kind of exercise those demons or that pain that we feel, and then we
Absolutely.
and then it kind of takes off into something else, such as books and journals and poetry and stuff like that. And I would like and let's say we're gonna get to your upcoming release in a moment, but I mean I'm still intrigued about you're influenced by like someone like Stephen King, but but you're also into you also from what we talked about initially when we were going down this path of this business path we're going down. you know you write erotica too, so where did that come from?
I just said I like reading Zane.
Oh Lord, that's where that come from. Oh boy.
But it's just like I like to just give my stories a little twist, a little
Flavor.
yes, put a little bam on it. Because it brings the attention back. It's like a lot of my books, I'm sorry, have just like it is not overwhelming. Um, the whole book is not all about that, but I just like to throw scenes in there, and I like to make them juicy. So
Ah, so you want that you want that people you want that wow factor. You want people to open have their eyes wide open when they start reading.
be like, oh, wait a minute, did I? Let me go back. you know, just like that.
You want the, yeah, you want the people to come back like, oh, wait a minute, did they just do that? Wait a
I
minute,
know.
hold on. Now, was it now? Was that like a kind of a natural thing for you to progress in there, progress toward that, just because you were reading that? Was it a natural progression from reading that type, reading erotica to writing it?
No, I just liked it. To I like the way me writing those things make me feel. So if it does not make me
Ah,
feel anything, if it does not move me, I know it won't move my readers. So I like to have the scenes that I write. I'll be like, oh, should I write that? Oh, I should. That's like,
oh man.
yes,
So you weren't see yeah, see, I like you already. You weren't the ones that like to let your imagination just go.
just go. Yeah.
And I know, and this is not to knock any writer or any writer per se, because a lot of us don't allow our imaginations to kind of just take over and allow our imaginations to be a part of the creative process. I want to ask you, how important is it to allow your imagination to be a part of the creative process?
Um, very, very, very important to me. A lot of people do not allow themselves to tap into their unique power because they are so afraid of what people might think about them. They are so afraid of, oh, if somebody read this book and I don't want to be labeled. Um, for me personally, I have a very very healthy sex life, and I want to portray that in my books. That anybody else who have a healthy sex life should enjoy the book. You know,
Right.
it's not about pornographic stuff because I don't make it pornographic. I make it like it would happen in anybody's life. So it flows the way it should happen in life. And so I really don't care about being judged about how I write or what I write. So I tend to just let myself be free. That is how I can free myself. I can express how I really think about something on paper. So,
There
if
you
it
go.
gets you feeling a little twisted or a little heated, that's what it's supposed to do. So,
Did the desired result is achieved.
all right.
See, I like you already. I like you already, because I mean, a lot of us don't do that. A lot of us, and I'm guilty of that myself as a writer. You tend to write in these the same old tropes, and there's no variety to that. And again, I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not knocking any author or any writer, because trust and believe, and I'll say this 1,000 times over, that I have mad respect for anybody that writes a book, or anybody that's a freelance writer, or anybody that's in journalism for that matter, because I have mad respect for these cats, because you're creating these worlds and these stories for people to look at, for people to read, and people to dive into, and it's supposed to evoke some sort of emotion, whether it's a strong
Absolutely.
emotion, or whether it's a weak emotion, or whether it's happiness or sadness. So I have mad respect for those guys, for anybody that writes, myself included. But we don't. I don't think we tap into our imagination enough when it comes to writing,
I have
and I
a
think it's
very
important.
vivid imagination.
See, people with vivid imagination, they tend to let that stuff run wild anyway.
See, I'm in my office. I got my books around me, so all of my thing about it is, if you read my book and you don't get immersed in the book, then I have not done my job. My book is like a little trip. It's like a little vacation. When you get to read my book, you have experienced something. I want you to feel
Exactly.
that way.
Exactly. And we want to the whole idea of us as writers, we want to make sure that anyone who reads it, we want them to walk away feeling,
Something.
yeah, a specific, not or specific way, if it's tailored that way, or better yet, something out of it, regardless if it's like happiness or sadness, or
Absolutely.
joy, or elation, or
Absolutely.
just a sense of freedom. If you don't feel
Absolutely.
that, then the mission ain't accomplished.
And that's my whole idea with my first book, Mercedes Closet, Keeping Deadly Secrets. Because even though it's fictional, I chose to go the fictional route about my life with domestic violence. So when you start reading it off the rip on the first page, it's like, wait a minute, what? And, it's just like, and I want people to understand, because people are so judgmental about domestic violence. They're so thinking in a box when it comes to domestic violence, because it's all they see on TV. It's a certain thing, it's a certain way, certain characteristic, a certain face. And when you started reading Mercedes Closet, and it's like, you actually, I actually take you in my shoes. And I had one of my readers tell me that she had to stop reading it because she started having nightmares. She started waking up like somebody was choking her. So she said, I can't read it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in my sleep I'm being attacked. This is why I want you to see how my life was. I want you to be in my shoes, experience what it was like for me. And I said, I felt like I done my job. I want you to live it. I want you to see it so you can understand where my head is and how it is where I am today.
Right, right. I get that. And you, that's a good thing to segue into. I mean, you said this. You wrote this from a fiction perspective.
I did.
Why'd you choose to write that book from that perspective?
Because I wanted to, I didn't, it's not all about me. Mercedes Closet is not all about me. Even though the character, I tell you stuff that happened to me during my walk with domestic violence, I also incorporated some other characters. I have a teenage couple, I have a business class couple in there. I just incorporated a lot of stuff in there so you can see what it is and what domestic violence look like from an LGBTQ point of view in different genres and different areas. So
Right,
I chose to go fiction because I wanted to be open my mind to what it is that I feel and express what it is that I see when it comes to domestic violence, so people can stop being so, closed minded when you see these things. Education is the key. So if you
right.
can look at this book and you feel a certain kind of way in your heart, because the young couple I have in there, teenage couple I have in there, because domestic violence do start way younger than we anticipate it does. A
Yes,
lot of kids in elementary school, middle school, high school are going through domestic violence. You could turn on your TV, kids are being killed every day by domestic partners.
yes,
And I
yes.
chose to put this in the book because the the family was so close minded about the fact that she was in a same sex relationship, that they were so adamant about living her life a certain way, they're not even paying attention to the red flags that she's experiencing.
Wow,
So I did it
wow.
for parents to open their eyes, talk to your kids. Like, you don't have to be so one way of life, you know what I'm saying? Because we're so being so stuck on having our children be this straight and narrow that you're missing so many other things. It's how our kids end up getting killed and murdered because we don't want to listen to our kids.
Right. Indeed, indeed. And it's something that you mentioned that I was that I and it brought a thought process to my mind that number one, domestic violence isn't necessarily it's not talked about enough
It's not.
in any community, whether it's black, white, any in any community. It's talked about even less in you know the LGBTQ community, and I find that to be really really disturbing. And now I'm gonna pose a question to you, and it's just a thought process of mine.
Go ahead.
Do you feel that when it comes to domestic violence in the LGBTQ community, do you feel that they won't a lot of those victims don't say anything because of their orientation, or maybe the fear of being shunned because they're in a same sex relationship? How do you feel about that? Or
It's
what
a
do you
lot of aspects that come into play with certain people not wanting to disclose that they are being abused, especially when it comes to men, gay men. This a lot of biases, a lot of, what I'm saying, stigmas come in. They sometimes they wouldn't even consider you being a domestic violence victim when you were a guy. It happens to
right,
straight guys as well as gay guys. A lot of men, period, don't come forward when it's about domestic violence because they figure like, who I'm gonna tell that I'm over here getting beat on? I'm a man.
yeah,
It's just the way people think. It's a mindset, and it's a lot of hurt people out here.
Yeah,
And it's just go ahead.
it's a stigma that surrounds that.
Absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
it's a large stigma that surrounds that. And it I don't and honestly speaking, it brings me right back to my own experience from both sides of the fence. You know, to be ostracized by one incident and to be stigmatized by another incident is it puts you in a weird space because now you don't know whether or not you tend to question your worth as an
Yeah,
individual, more importantly as a man.
yeah,
So and then but I can but I and it brought that question to my mind because I can't imagine how many how many people in this community that are that go through that and don't say anything because of being ostracized or because of being stigmatized because of that, and it's crazy to understand that they would continue to go on and allow that to persist and happen and continue to happen and not seek any help about it. But but as you mentioned earlier, it's a society that we've been raised in. You know,
yeah.
we shun people around. We shun people that think differently or feel differently or love differently or things of that nature. We're we're so binary that we don't think other way. We don't think in other ways, shape, or forms.
And sometimes people are just not educated in what domestic violence look like. To be honest with you,
Exactly.
because on
Exactly.
TV in the movies, you see somebody getting beat down, dragged, and kicked. And most of the time, domestic violence don't look like that. Domestic violence is mental, it's verbal, and it's kind of like it's a mind game, mind tricks, and people just don't associate certain behaviors with domestic violence. I feel like people just need to be more educated, especially what domestic violence look like, what kinds of domestic violence, things of that nature. You still with me?
My bad. I'm sorry. My computer just winked out on me, so I apologize for that.
No, you fine. I was like, hello.
So I'm waiting for my computer to come back, but we still finna keep going on. So I mean, you mentioned that. What was you saying earlier? I mean, before my computer decided to take a dirt nap.
I know. Not a dirt now. No, no. I was just saying. I just really feel like people aren't educated in what domestic violence actually looks like. I think people should be more educated with the different forms of domestic violence. So, because everybody just like I said, everybody think black eyes is the only way you can say somebody is in a domestic violence relationship. Toxic relationships of any kind is considered domestic violence. It, it's just simple as that.
Indeed, indeed. I find it crazy to I find it crazy to see that and to see that and to also to see that you know a lot of these relationships are just a lot of these relationships go through that secret hell and nobody's saying anything. And then all of a sudden you hear some shit on the news that somebody was killed or somebody was seriously injured because of a domestic violence incident or something even worse. Maybe date rape or sexual assault or something or even something even worse than that.
Absolutely.
And nobody's talking about that. Nobody's putting that to issue. No one's putting that to task.
I'm gonna put
And I
myself
find
under
that
the
like
fire.
mad crazy.
I'm putting myself under the fire because I experienced sexual assault when I was younger, you know, and I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything to nobody till I was um almost grown. And I just close to my best friend. I really can't. I really think that the reason why I didn't disclose to anybody that I had experienced something like that Because I was being grown. I went to a party. I was smoking weed, drinking. Didn't have no business doing none of those things. So I just didn't. I didn't disclose because I felt like I was going to be reprimanded for the other behaviors, you know, and or they was going to. I blamed myself because if I had not have been done doing those things, if I had not have been somewhere where I was not supposed to be, then it would have happened to me. So I don't know why other people might not disclose, but that was the reason why I did not disclose that something had happened to me.
But I mean, I the but I but you know what? I look at it from the aspect of is that you can't control someone else's actions. You can only be responsible for the actions that you take.
Mm.
So whatever actions that someone takes against you, I mean, you can't necessarily control that person's reactions.
I get
Some
that now.
and I've heard that. I mean, and I stand by that. Yeah, but I've also heard cats say, why did you rape her? Well, because she had on a short skirt and her chest and her boobs were sticking out. That's not a reason to sexually assault somebody, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have on a short skirt. I didn't have on a short anything. I had on what I wear every day. Like I was like a normal teenage girl. It's just that I had got too wasted, and I kind of like I think I might have blacked out. I don't remember. I don't remember the actual event. I just remember waking up in a strange place with a strange person, and I was just like freaking out because I didn't have on no clothes. So of course, but a
I
much older grown person, a grown person, and I was like 15. So
mean, well, and I guess I can say some people are just sick as hell too. So, I mean, I guess we could chalk it up to that as well.
yeah, it's
But
life. I mean,
I'm always stand by that. You're responsible for your own act. You're responsible as a person. You're responsible for your own actions. It doesn't matter what somebody else presents to you on the outside. You're responsible for your own actions.
you're right.
Just because a woman's got her boobs all served up and she got a short skirt on, you can see a lot of her legs. That doesn't give you permission to want to have your way with somebody, and vice versa.
Absolutely. I think that's kind of why I'm so overprotective of my kids. Like I never let my kids go anywhere when they was younger. I'm like, you ain't going nowhere. You can have your little friend come over here, but you ain't going to nobody's house. And
Yeah.
I just was so. I'm still like this to this day. I think I kind of like just scared the life out of my daughter because she just at home. She said she ain't moving out. She just she's staying here
Well,
forever.
because you just don't know what other human beings are capable of.
That part, and I was just like, I don't know.
And being an overprotective parent, I mean, hell, anybody would do that. I mean, because that's your child, for Christ's sake.
Listen, for my grandkids, I'll be like, listen, what they going? What they
Listen,
going with?
you get, and I don't care what you do. You can bring your folks over here, but you not going over there.
That boy.
Do whatever you want with them, but
Cause
hey, but
people
you're not
crazy,
going
and you
over
don't
there.
know, and you don't know how they run their household. Like
Yeah, yeah, because like I said, it's kind of a sad thing to say that people are somewhat unpredictable, and that people are deplorable. Some people, not all people, just that
I
that
know.
5%. I mean, let's just be real. Let's just be honest about it. I mean, there is some people are just deplorable just for the sake of being deplorable.
And I just don't get it. But it's like, okay,
That's because they probably themselves ain't had no damn home training, but at the same time they probably had home training, but decide to deviate.
I know, just evil for no reason.
But I mean, it's now I do want to ask you, because this is a story about domestic violence. How difficult was that for you to write? as an author? Was there any part of it that proved difficult or challenging?
All of it. It was triggering. I did not even let me explain something to you. My book has so many typos in it because I could not bring myself to read the edits that the editor was giving to me. So I was
Right.
just changing what she. I'm just changing things. I didn't even read my book till a year after it had been published because I couldn't bring
Really?
myself to face it. I couldn't bring myself to face the book. And everybody was telling me, "Oh, it was so good." And I'm looking at them like, "Yeah." I could not bring myself to read it. So upon reading it, I realized there was a lot of typos in there, but I don't want to change it. I just like it the
Huh.
way it is. But I mean, it came out. It was a perfect way. Hey,
Wow.
did your computer come back from the depths?
Yes, it came back from the depths of Lord knows where. I
Yeah,
don't know
so
what's
that was
going
like
on.
it was so hard for me. Like it was so triggering. Just the simple reading my chapters is in there because I was like, and I did not know how much truth I actually put in this book because my family started reading. They were like, I remember this stuff. My children was like, Mom, I remember when this happened. I was like, oh my God, I think I put too much truth in here.
Not really. I mean,
I
you
was
put.
just elaborating around my journal. So,
I mean, I would say not really because you put enough truth that everybody to understand and say, hey, this is what it is.
yeah, I put a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, well, I mean, even I think just even the thought of just to write, just thinking about something like that, or even better yet, writing something like that would kind of be like, yeah, but that's crazy. But I look at what I've written, I'm like, well, damn, I wrote that. And my thing be like, alrighty then, let's go.
I know.
I mean, but I'm pretty sure a lot of family members that read it were somewhat ticked.
Yeah, a lot of people because I hid it. I hid what I was going through with my baby's father. Well, I don't really like saying who my abuser was, but yeah, that's who. And my book is not one abuser because I've been in a lot of toxic relationships. So it's a kind
Right.
of accumulation of a lot of different people. Not a lot, but like two people. So my main
Wow.
character is like put together. My abuser is put together of like two different individuals into one unique monster. So
Wow.
I'm talking about several incidents that are happening through my life, but it looks like it's like one individual is doing it, but it's kind of like coming from two different people.
Wow. So you speaking from the duality perspective.
Yeah,
And just to know that that was difficult to write in and of itself. I mean,
it was. It was just about flashbacks. Like for a while, it was like difficult for me. I was like and
I
held
can't do this
on.
no more.
I held on to this book for so long. Like I had written this book for a few years, and I wasn't going to even do anything about it. And I just ran across a person that was just like, "Hey, you need to make that happen. Just push it." And I just released it.
Wow. Now, what was the reaction like when you released that?
It kind of catapulted me into the next phase of my life, which I wasn't prepared for. I did not.
She's
I did
wasn't
not
ready for
want to
that, were
be.
you?
No, I didn't have no. I didn't want to be an advocate. I didn't want to be a public speaker. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be the face of nothing. I just wanted to publish a book and hide in the background like authors do. You know?
You now, so I'm you, unfortunately, and I use this term extremely literally at this point because that ended up being the case for me. Unfortunately, when you write about something that's very powerful and very eye opening, you tend to get thrust into that.
Yes. Like some I'm a wildflower. Even though I talk a lot, I'm very people just tend to migrate to me. So I like being in the shadows. I don't like being in the forefront. And this kind
Exactly.
of like catapulted me in the forefront. So I released my book, and now I have speaking engagements and interviews, and I'm like, I am from the hood. I speak a lot of Ebonics.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how I can talk to people. And my coach was like, people from the ghetto, people from the hood, people who talk like you need to hear your story. Because there's a lot of people out there that need to hear you. And I was
That's
like,
true.
all right.
But you know what? But it's so true though. It's there's a fundamental truth into that. That people that come from the hood or come from the ghetto or come from a place where there's not a whole lot of opportunities around. Folks that are still in still in that place or still in that condition. Yeah, they need to hear that because it's come from someone like yourself. It ends up being relatable.
Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
Since you said that, I never imagined that I was in a domestic violence relationship because I
I
felt
don't
like
think any of
baby.
us
I
did.
feel like listen. I felt like baby dads was supposed to do what mine did because it was happening to everybody around me was going through the same thing. Baby daddy was acting like that. Baby daddy was putting their hands on them. I felt like that's what a baby's father was supposed to do.
Nah, nah.
I'm dead serious. But when you know better, you do better. I
Oh
promise
yeah.
you, I was 16, 17. I felt like that is what a baby father was supposed to do.
No
And
ma'am.
this is why I'm being vocal in my ebonics, in my hood slang, cutting off street, saying street instead of street. Because somebody needs to understand that baby daddies ain't supposed to put their hands on you.
No. That's and the funny part about that is what you bring about is such an interesting dichotomy to that is that's something that's a mindset that was cultivated probably over the course of years. They figured that okay, well, I got a kid by you, treat you any kind of way I want to. No,
You can run the streets, sleep with who you want to sleep with, but I better not do it. I better not have no other nigga in front of your kids over here with my kids
exactly,
helping you do nothing. I just got to be poor while you out there running the streets.
exactly, exactly. You this kind of you. I'm supposed to be here taking care of your kids and make sure when you get home from running the streets or trapping or doing whatever you do, it's supposed to be a hot meal waiting for you. And if it ain't, then that gives you carte blanche to whoop my ass. No, no. It's a mentality I think that's been ingrained in us for quite some time, and it's crazy to for you. And I won't say it's crazy, but it brings me right back to when friends of like female friends of mine and also other people that I knew were having kids, and I would hear these stories about from other dudes saying, "Well, my baby mama didn't do this, so I had to whoop her ass." Huh? What? What the fuck they do that
Listen,
at?
sad. It's
Very,
sad. And
very sad.
why I gonna even open that
I
can
can't
of
even.
worms? I got a
Man,
whole can of
no.
I got a
We
whole can of
can't.
worms I can open up about that. It's yeah, it's but yes,
Yeah,
and I
we ain't gonna go there tonight, man. We ain't gonna go there tonight. But
absolutely.
I
That's
will
why I
say
say I
this.
just did
I
that. I
will
went
say
down and
this.
just go ahead.
I will say this though that I will invite you back so we can talk. We can kind of talk a little bit about that in a little detail, but not so much.
I feel
But we
I
was
feel
but we here to celebrate you as an author, man. We not here we but
right. I know we
but
don't went all off track. Just you
I mean
open up these cans.
I mean but think about it. That's part of your journey.
It is. That's
That's part of the marathon that you're running.
that's why I'm standing right here in front of you and saying I am April M. Jackson Hunter, author, founder, and president of Mercedes Closet Inc.
Yes, indeed.
Because
Yes,
I didn't
indeed.
let my
So,
past define my
man,
future. What happened?
that's right. That's right. So, that's right. So now we're gonna come off a sad subject and we're gonna switch some gears a little bit now. And we no, I mean, cause we can probably wax poetic about that all day or all night. But I mean,
It's not sad to me
it's
anymore. It used to be sad to me, but now my story is empowering. My story motivates me to go on and on and on.
right, right. But and people can talk. I mean, and people will say that they use that to strengthen themselves or make themselves much stronger people. And I understand that. But also, there's also some triumph or some good in that because I mean, what 2 books out, a nonprofit, uh, so many other good things that's here. So,
I also won,
and I want to celebrate you as an author.
and I also won a Trailblazing Right Up the Year award.
What? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I know.
It's it's things like that it's things like what you just said now that fired me up and that that allow that keeps me supporting authors like yourself and other great authors that like you and I can name a whole bunch off the top of my head you know but it's things like that recognition and awards
I know.
those are for us as a for I know for me as a writer that's not necessarily important because I could care less about accolades or awards. I'm just writing to try to change somebody's life. But to be recognized for what you do and to be congratulated or celebrated,
Absolutely.
that means a lot. That means a
It
whole
does.
lot.
I do so
So
much in the day, people
sweet.
would not understand what I do in the day.
Right, right, right. So switching gears though now. I mean,
Okay.
now we talked a little bit about your first book. I mean, we know what it know what it surrounds and we know what it talks about. Now, I want to talk about this book that you let me edit, just the basic edits. I'm first and foremost, I'm gonna say, whoa,
I know.
but I'm but I'm gonna let I'm gonna let I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you tell everybody what that book is without spoiling it, cause I ain't gonna spoil nothing.
I know. I tried. I did the whole domestic violence, damsel in distress thing, and I wanted to try my hand at a paranormal romance. So I did a story about Queens of Darkness. So my new release is entitled Queen of Darkness. I'm trying to get it out before it starts getting cold. I want to have it out before Halloween. I'm trying to push it, push it,
Right.
push it to be out before Halloween. It's a vampire love story, you know. But you know I have to deal with the LGBTQ, so
Oh yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah. And
So it's an LGBTQ vampire love story. Because vampires are erotic, so you can't even can't hold them down to their whole heterosexual thing that's been done.
yeah, yeah. I don't think those types of stories are tied down to just that.
Their whole heterosexual vampire love story. They had Twilight for that. This is something on a whole on a different level.
I'll say. I will say completely
I know.
because when I started editing, I'm like, well, damn, I can't start reading this. So I guess well, while I'm editing, I may just read it too. And look, folks, I'm not gonna spoil the story for y'all. I'm not. I'm just gonna say that I won't say it's a damn good read. But the one question I want to ask you about this is that now we kind of got you got a rough idea when it's coming out. Both of your the protagonist and the antagonist are both very strong
Please.
female characters
Yeah.
with obvious vulnerabilities. What I won't say what possessed you, but what what inspires you to write a story with two very strong female characters, a very strong antagonist and a very strong protagonist.
They're both mirror images of me.
Wow. So we're
I
back to
can
the
see
duality thing
myself.
again.
I can see myself playing or being both of those individuals. Absolutely.
Wow. When one person and one character is more of a traditionalist as it comes to like what her profession and what she does. The other one is more or less
Buck
she's
of the, buck of
a
the
conform
system.
she conformed to what she I won't say conform, but she's adapted to how things are. And like I said, I'm trying to say this stuff without spoiling too much
I
and
know.
without spoiling anything.
They are
But
both.
you say it's you say it's paranormal or erotica with a paranormal erotica slash romance.
I know.
I think you can mix some I think you can put some horror elements into that as well. I detected some horror elements in that as well, especially with a couple of the scenes where they were kind of I'm like, wait a minute, damn, that's hella gruesome.
I know. I know.
Okay, I don't want to. I better not eat while I'm reading that.
Look, I kind of like scared myself because the third scene. Listen, because I have to be on. I have to be on my bus and it be dark in the.
Yeah,
So after I had wrote that scene I'm talking about, out on my bus looking.
checking corners. Who's there?
I know how you scare yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, hold on, did she just write that?
I know,
She a damn bus driver, ain't she?
right?
I'm like good grief. I just sat there and scratched my head like good grief. Oh lord.
I was scared myself. I was looking with my flashlight all up under the bus, in the
Like
trees.
looking up at the roof, seeing somebody hanging up at the roof and stuff. Like
How you scare yourself? I was like, listen,
exactly. And like I said, I noticed there were like little tinges of like a little bit of horror elements in there too. I'm like, oh, okay, so some of this shit she writes is just bad grizzly. I'm like, okay, make sure I don't eat anything. Make sure I don't eat anything while I read certain
Listen,
scenes in this thing
it's
right
that
here.
little Stephen King coming out of me.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, Mr. Distic over here. Damn, I don't know whether she a sadist or a masochist on
I
this.
know.
Just like damn.
I just threw a little bit of everybody in
Everything.
there.
Yeah, man.
Flipped it
But
over
I
a couple of times.
but I say it. But I'm gonna say this. It's a. I'll say this as someone who was editing it, just doing the basic edits of it. It was a great read from page one to the last page.
And I'm just throwing you all over the place. And at certain points, I wanted to feel like it was like, okay, what's happening? And then when it get to the end, you be like, I can't believe she just did
What?
that to me.
Yeah, that. You know what? I ain't gonna spoil the ending for everybody. I'm just gonna say that it was that threw me slap off because it wasn't what I was expecting, and I'm
It
like,
was not.
and I'm simply scratching my head like, did that just happen?
I know.
I'm looking around like, did that just happen?
I can't believe she did it. That what happened in my first book too, though. I had several
What?
people calling me in the middle of the night, talking to me. Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I'm like, it's a book. She's like, I'm crying. I can't go to work. I've been up crying all night. Why? Just stop reading. Go back to it tomorrow. Like it's
Too late. I want to know what happens next. But then, I was like, because the end, I'm like, because I'm scratching my head like, she just did that. And then the first question that came out of my mouth was, why?
I know.
Reading the whole thing just had me thinking it was gonna end this way. All of a sudden, you flip the whole script. I'm like, she's so disrespectful.
I know.
She's so damn disrespectful. I can't stand her. When I finish editing this book and let her know what's going on, I'm gonna let her know what the how I can't stand her.
Hey,
Just so disrespectful.
that's it. Take a bow.
Exactly. Exactly. Take several bows. Matter of fact, a bow and a curtsy.
Thank you.
Cause and that's a and see that and see as a reader, that's the reaction that I want. As a reader, that's a reaction that I get, but also as a reader of someone else's work, that's the reaction that I want. That I want to do every time. That I want to have every time I read someone's work. It's like, oh damn, they flipped that whole thing on its head.
Yeah.
Let's see how far this rabbit hole gonna go for that with that.
That part.
And then when you flipped it on its head, like, oh, okay, we gonna see how deep this finna go right now. Damn, she went super deep. Okie dokie.
And I'm working on
All
like
right,
several
I guess
projects
I'm
at one
lost in the
time,
sauce
so
now.
it's like,
I was like, I guess I'm lost now. But I mean, but you know, I think everybody who reads this is gonna be super surprised, or better yet, they're gonna be pleasantly. I don't know if pleasantly surprised is gonna be the word to use, but I think they're gonna be surprised because it's even though it's kind of like it's in several places there, it's throwing you in several different directions.
yeah, because I want to
And
keep you on your toes. I don't want you to guess. And you know what I'm saying? So I kind of like throw you back and forth so you going to have time to guess. You doing too much. Like, wait a minute. Hold on. What's happening right here? I don't want you to guess what's going on. I want you to be on your
yeah,
toes. So I serve you the dish.
yeah, I had to
You're
get.
not expecting this sandwich. You thought you was about to get some
Yeah,
caviar.
I
You
took.
got like, wait a minute. What happened to my dinner?
Why I got this damn bologna sandwich? What?
I know.
Yeah, I had to guess a couple times. I had to guess a couple times. You threw me off with that. I'm like, oh, this how she gonna do it? Okay. Wait till I call her, cuss her right on out. That's how we do it. That's how we doing it. Okay, cool. I don't like
I
her know
know.
it.
I had to do it.
I know. But it's an interesting. It was an interesting conclusion to that. Now,
Yep.
I gotta ask you this: when you get this when this one comes out, and then you evaluate how this is doing, is there a part two?
Because it says to be continued.
Oh, I didn't see that part. I just saw the ending part. I didn't read beyond that.
It says to be continued.
Oh well, here we go then. Here we go then. Here we go. Now, I noticed when I was editing this book that there were pictures involved. Now, for your first book, are there pictures in that one as well?
As far as, I only have a picture of my father in there. My father passed away,
Okay.
and he was kind of like my rock, my superhero. So kind of like most all of my personal books have a picture of my father in the beginning of it.
Okay. Okay. So every book's dedicated to your pops.
My pops has a dedication page in there, yes. Well, I have dedicated to
Oh
other
wow.
people too, but he have his own page because it's like my superhero, my guardian angel, and he never had the
Nothing like
opportunity
it.
to see me make it to this.
Oh,
So I know, don't make me cry. Don't.
we not. We not.
I know.
We not. We not. We not. But even if you did, I was gonna say it's okay.
I know.
So, but yeah. So, and you said now you're shooting for a Halloween release for this one.
Yes, I'm trying to get it out before Halloween. I don't want Halloween to pass me by and it's not out. So I'm taking a little breather because I'm about to go on vacation next week. When I come back, I'm gonna hit the ground running. So
Again.
I know don't do that. I have like several book projects I'm working on at the same time. So I want to make sure I get because I've been doing a lot. I need a break. Like serious.
I know.
I don't know what you don't not familiar with, but everybody who's familiar with my journey know I had to go back into therapy. I had to get back on medication because I had an incident with my kid's father. He came around 20 years later,
Oof.
and we had an incident, and it took me out of my out of my normalcy. I thought I had done got past all of that, all everything that happened between us, and the incident with him just triggered a bunch of stuff, and so I had to take a mental break. I had to mentally sit myself down to be the advocate and the survivor that I need to be for my people. I had to get myself back in gear. So this is something I had to take. I'm not going. My wife is not going. My kids are not going. I'm going with some other people because I need to mentally get myself in gear. So I need this break.
I feel you on that. So we all need a mental break every once in a while to kind
Yes,
of step back and reevaluate ourselves, and also put ourselves back in a different frame of mind.
absolutely.
So I ain't mad at you at all. I wish I could take a vacation.
Listen, I just hey, I said I'm going. Um, I'm sorry, guys, but I need to have a breather in front of some nice blue water with an umbrella drink.
An umbrella drink. Ah, nothing stronger than that, huh?
Listen, out
I feel you.
of a
I ain't
pineapple, I need
mad
a
at you.
pineapple umbrella drink, or out of
Hey,
a coconut.
that
It
works.
doesn't really matter.
That works. Either way.
Yeah,
Either way. Now that we kind of jumped and talked a little bit about the Queen of Darkness, which I am like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm jacked. I'm jacked to receive. I'm hyped up for that one. So whenever that one releases, I'm just gonna buy the paperback and be like, hey, look, I got the paperback, dude. Can you sign this for me? I mean, for real, for
oh, I
real.
sign all my books. All my books you order from me are autographed.
Oh, hey, there we go. So when that one come out, most definitely ordering that one so I can have that one on my bookshelf.
I know. I'm working with Russell
Cause
on a cover now. So
oh yeah,
hmm
that boy stay busy.
I know. I'm giving him a little break, but because I have like 3 books in in my notebook that I got to finish writing. So you between you and Russell, y'all got work with
Oh,
me
I'm cool
legitly.
with it. I'm cool with that. Keep it coming. Keep it
So
coming. But
and the one that's coming
but
after Queen of Darkness is called Virtual Infidelity. So I know you can't
ooh,
wait to read that one.
that sounds like that's gonna be spicy as hell.
So
Just the title just makes it sound like it's gonna be spicy. Yeah. You make sure when you finish right now, you send that one right away. Matter
I
of
already
fact,
have the
matter of
outline. I've outlined every chapter already. So my outline is ready. I'm just trying. I'm doing 3 books simultaneously because I'm working with somebody else on another another co-author book project, and I got 2 of my
uh,
own I'm working on. So I'm trying to get these pushed out the door so I can focus on the next set that I got outlined and journaled already.
well, you make sure that one is the second one you send. Or whichever one you send, it don't matter. I'm cool on all of them. So man, we gonna get you right, man. We gonna get you right. But I do want to like change gears for a minute. I want to talk about your
Another
nonprofit
wardrobe
Mercedes
change.
Claus.
Wardrobe change.
Yeah,
I know.
we do things unscripted over here.
Oh, I'm cool. I roll with the punches.
Oh, I know. I see adaptability. I like it.
Listen,
But I do want to talk about your nonprofit, Mercedes Closet.
absolutely.
I want to let's where did that where did that begin from, or where did that stem from?
I just wanted to. I found my voice, birthing my book, and within finding my voice, I became so much freedom and so much weight lifted off of me. So I wanted to be a beacon for other victims, other survivors, you know, just people in general to be empowered to change somebody's life. If I can reach, I told myself if I can reach one person, I was doing a
Right.
justice. And I have surpassed that, you guys. And it's just like so empowering for me. Like I tell people, empowering others heals me. That helps me to heal. I have a
Indeed.
free virtual support group that I do every second Saturday of the month. I have survivors coming from as far as Canada online with me. It's so dope, you know. It is so. Listen, when I tell you, it's like these people, these faces, these stories. Like seriously,
Wow. That's you got folks from Canada?
I have 2 individuals from Canada that come on during our support group meeting, and it's like they like the sweetest people in the world. I love them. I love interacting with everybody, all different personalities, all different stories. I love hearing all the techniques that help people can help others. We talk about different techniques that help us. We try to empower people with our stories, with what we're going through. We motivate us to keep pushing it through. It's just like it's not therapy. It doesn't feel like therapy. It's just a bunch of survivors empowering other survivors. That's it.
Now, with that being said, are you able do you have do you give resources for those people as far as like,
Anybody that's
where they
looking
can
for
go?
resources, if they reach out to me, anything in my repertoire that I can help them with, I try to. We've put up individuals in hotels. We've connect people with other people. I've even opened up my home to some survivors, and it's just like You know, it's where I can help out at. I'm not trying to be a multi-million-dollar nonprofit. I just want to be able to touch somebody's life.
And I think and that's the major part of it. I mean, now now most nonprofits partner with other with more known. I well, to my experience, most nonprofits partner with more well-known coalitions and more well-known coalitions. Do you partner with local coalitions here in the greater Atlanta area?
Um, Not really. I'm just small. I do help out when people need stuff. They call me. I get out what I can. We actually had a big fundraiser back in April. April
Uh,
is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and we raised a lot of money. We even had a donation from Publix that
wow.
we purchased aftercare kits for sexual assault survivors, as well as eye care kits for domestic violence survivors. In those aftercare kits, they had change of clothing, they had a change of underwear, they had toiletries, they had a journal for adults, coloring book for kids, they had a freedom bear, things of that nature. Because I did not know sexual assaulted and they go to the ER, their clothes are confiscated
Yeah.
and they are leaving the hospital in hospital gowns. I did not know that.
Damn. Now that's crazy as hell.
So our organization raised money and we purchased these kits and we donated some to Fulton County and some to Gwinnett County. I was supposed to give some to the Cap Camp, but they never contacted me back. So I gave to where I thought I could give it to. I took the
So
ones for
basically,
Fulton County, I took them to Grady Hospital, and the ones for Gwinnett County, I took them the detectives in the SVU unit came and picked them up.
wow. So you put your resources to where they can do the most good.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, would you? I guess the question would be: would you want to partner with any of the more the state any state or local coalitions? You know, to try to
I don't. I want to do
push
whatever I
push.
can to help somebody. I don't mind.
Okay,
I just want to be a beacon. That's it.
okay. I'm just gonna put this out here. Put this announcement out here for you. Look, you know, Mercedes Cloud. If you guys are wanting to partner up with my sister Miss April Jackson Hunter and Mercedes Clouds, and you guys most definitely please get in contact with her uh, to partner up with her for if you guys want to do like a fundraiser or any type of drives, or
Absolutely.
if you guys are looking to just to really partner up and just kind of make an impact on not only your communities but also in the life of someone who's been suffering from domestic violence. And it doesn't matter whether the person is heterosexual or lesbian or gay or whatnot, whatever. Domestic violence affects all communities. It doesn't matter which
Absolutely.
community you're in. So if you're anybody that wants to partner with my sister, please get in contact with her, and I'll make sure that she leaves her contact information, and I'll put her contact information in the comments in our interview. So I'll make sure that happens. But I mean, now what's the mission of Mercedes Closet?
Our mission is to empower LGBTQ survivors of not only domestic violence but sexual assault, trans violence, any of those violent traumas, to help them rebuild and lead fearless lives.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And to be that to be a beacon of light like that is that's a large responsibility. And the one question that I've asked a couple of people who have nonprofits like that, that's a large responsibility. How do you approach that? How do you approach that large burden on your shoulders?
It's not, to me, it doesn't feel like a burden because, like I said, I know what domestic violence was for me. It was lonely, it was depressing, things of that nature. It was sad. I was sad a lot, I was depressed a lot. And I know when I got out of that, I still carried those bags of depression. I still carry it today. I still suffer from PTSD today. I suffer from anxiety today. I have panic attacks today. I suffer from depression today. And that's why I built my support group, which is entitled Fearless Survivors, because I needed that. I needed to not feel alone. I needed to not feel like I was in a glass box and I see everybody walking by and I'm screaming, nobody hears me. I needed to not feel that.
Yeah,
And I want other survivors, other victims to not feel that way as well.
that's what's up. This any I'll say this any noble cause will always will always bring about the right people.
Absolutely.
And before those right people come along and connect with you, and you guys are become a force, and your nonprofit becomes a force, and you change more than just, I mean, and you you've already said it before. If you change one person's life, then it's a mission complete. But I
Absolutely.
think but I think for you but I think for you, the just the opportunity to be able to have more reach, to be able to reach more people and help more people is will probably will be an even greater mission accomplished. So I want to give you this opportunity to, first of all, you know, just a shameless plug. Let everybody know who you are. Let everybody know where they can find your books, and also let everybody know of your nonprofit, and also where they can reach you and where they can contact you if they want to partner up with you or if they want more information.
Absolutely. I am April M. Jackson Hunter, award winning author, speaker, blogger. Yeah, I did blog. I blog for liveyourdream.org, which is a violent survivor nonprofit. So I am a blogger. I do have a podcast that's entitled Survivors Talk. It's on YouTube, our YouTube channel. You can find us our YouTube channel at Mercedes Closet Inc. But you guys can find me all across social media. I am on Facebook and Instagram at April M. Jackson Hunter or Mercedes Closet Inc. You guys can find me on Twitter at Mercedes Closet. If you guys can find out anything you need to know about Mercedes Closet at www.mercedescloset.com. You guys can check out my book, subscribe to my website at the home of April M. Jackson Hunter, the home of author April M. Jackson Hunter, at www.aprilmjacksonhunter.com. If you guys would like to inbox me or email me to get information about partnering up with me, you guys can email me at mercedescloset@yahoo.com.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, you know, ladies, I mean, I just want you guys to just know that this is, you know, again, domestic violence is something that's so not talked about. But that's not the
Absolutely.
crux of what we're talking about here. It's not necessarily the crux of what we're talking about. We are celebrating this young lady right here for her accomplishments as an author, as a blogger, as a podcaster, as a public speaker, and also the a change agent and a trailblazer in changing folks' lives one person at a time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And first and foremost, before we go any further, I want to commend you on the things that you're doing and the accomplishments that you have so thus far. Um, it's so many times that a lot of people are not or so afraid to speak about subjects that are dear to them or that affect
Absolutely.
them. But you are but you're taking that stand and you're speaking about a subject that's near and dear to you, and you are changing lives, regardless
Thank
if you
you.
know if you think that you're not seeing it right now, but you are changing lives. And the one thing I want to continue to I just want to continue to encourage you to keep pushing forward,
Thank
because
you.
I know there are times where for you that you feel like you just don't want to continue to move forward, and you tell yourself, what is all this worth? But I want you to continue to move forward and keep pushing forward, because little by little you're changing people's lives, and you are making an impact, and you are affecting people.
That's what make me cry.
not true. If it's a misty eye moment, it's a misty eye moment. But I
Thank
mean, but
you.
it's some, but it's true. You, it does seem like. I mean, I know even myself, and there, I know for you, there's times where you just feel like you're not making a change, or you're not impacting people, but you are. Whether it's one word through one word at a time through your book, one speech at a time through your public speaking, one life at a time through your nonprofit, one one sentence at a time through your blog or through your podcast or through your support groups. You are impacting lives. You are changing lives. So don't give up. Keep pushing that rock forward because eventually, eventually,
I know.
it's this it's gonna be bigger than what you it's gonna be bigger than what you see, bigger than what you think it is. So get yourself ready because it's gonna be some great things coming along your way.
I really appreciate those words.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Now, the one question that I always ask my guest here, I always ask my guest this one question before we end the show, before we end our broadcast. Life is a we all I like that we all look at life as a marathon, and there are several stages of that marathon that all of us are on at one point or another. Some of us are in the beginning stage where we're just starting our race. Some of us are at the middle stage where we're kind of like at that midpoint of the race. Some of us are at the home stretch to where we're able to see the finish line and we're running towards that. In this marathon of life, where do you see yourself? You see yourself in the beginning, in the middle, or at the home stretch?
I think I'm in between the middle and the home stretch because I see the finish line, but I'm not quite there yet.
Not quite there yet. So why do you think you're not quite there yet?
Because I have a lot more that I want to do. I have a lot more books I want to write. I have a lot more people lives I want to change. So I want to not reach the finish line as of yet. I want to keep it going.
Well, but I would say you're kind of in the middle part at this point because you're still running and
I'm gonna keep
you're still
running
trying to get things accomplished.
as
Okay,
long as I see my feet.
there you go, there you go. As long as you see them feet churning, as long as you see them feet churning, that's what it is. That's what it is. And I like that. For me, it's always an honor to have someone that's a change agent and that's reaching out to the community and trying to do so much for the community and change so much for the change, do it like create change for her community and someone who has a love of her community to create this change, especially in an underserved community.
Absolutely.
So I think that I think that the more that you put yourself out there as someone that's an advocate for LGBTQ community for these people in that community, a lot of more people are gonna reach out to you and want to cross those borders with you, and they're gonna want to partner with you because again, I said this earlier. Domestic violence affects all communities. It doesn't matter
Absolutely.
whether whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're lesbian. It doesn't matter.
And that's our phrase. That's our catchphrase for our nonprofit. Violence has no sexual preference.
There you go. There you go. And you know what? And I will agree with you, and I will stand with you on that. You know. And I'll even say this. I'll even say this to even be more transparent, to even be even more supportive of that. Anything that I can personally do for I can personally do to help or to help support or anything that Trailblazer Radio as a as a as a business, as a podcast, as a platform can do to help support. Just you let me know. You let me know, and you name the time and place, and I'm there, and I'll be there with open arms,
I thank you.
open, open arms and heart,
I know.
because I mean it's you we
Oh,
have
it's
it's
so sweet.
oh
It's so sweet.
I mean, but the thing of it is, we as authors and as entrepreneurs and things, we have to support each other because that's important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
That's
totally
important.
agree.
You know, if
I
like I
say
said, if
that
I can
all the
do something
time.
from
It's enough love, it's enough food that we all can eat. We don't have to step on nobody's toes, drag nobody down. You know what I'm saying? It's love. You can totally make it without being a backstabber, without being, you know, people don't get it sometimes.
yeah, there, sooner eventually they'll understand that it's enough food on the table for everybody to eat at. It's just don't overload
Absolutely.
your don't put too little on your plate to where you gotta eat off somebody else's.
That part.
Eat what's on your plate first and
Cause
then
you
come
can't
back.
have my plate. Cause I'm fat. I want all my food. But I don't want your food. I want my food. So what's for me is for me, and what's for you is for you. So
There you go. There you go. No truer words said, man. No truer words said. But the one thing, and I want to reiterate this to everybody that's listening, and everybody that's watching tonight. Um, Again, if you guys want a partner, if you guys are looking to partner with someone, or if you just looking, or if you guys are looking to partner with somebody in in your local community and stuff like that, look this young lady up, man. She has a great platform. She has a great message. She she has I can't say enough nice things about her. You know, she has a great platform. She has a great message. I was actually I actually took the time to actually take a look at some of the stuff on her YouTube channel, and I was just amazed about some of the stuff that you guys talk about, and I was like, damn, they go there.
I know. Oh my
Y'all
God, do
really go
we?
there. Yeah,
I be like,
they
oh my God. And
y'all
some of
ain't
those
y'all ain't
podcasts I'm
scared.
drinking, so it's like no holds barred.
I'm like, damn, that y'all ain't scared at all. That's my cup of tea right there. I love that. But
I had to take a
guys,
break from that too,
like, please
so we had to sit down
get
for
in
a minute.
contact with us. Right. That's all. I hope you guys get it started back up though.
Yeah, we are, because the last episode was I was telling them about me going back to therapy and getting back on medication. I was telling them about this that happened with me and my kid's father. So that was like it was
Right.
triggering for me. So I had to sit it down for a minute and to get my mind right. Like I said, I can't be the advocate and the speaker that I'm supposed to be if I'm is my head not in the game. So I had to sit it down.
There you
I
go.
had to get my choo choo train back on the track and come back and pick it back up.
She said, "I get my choo choo train back."
Yep. See, I can't be the little engine that could if I'm not on the track.
True.
So,
Very true. Very true. Very true. And I agree with that. I agree wholeheartedly with that. But
absolutely.
you know, you got please get in contact with this young lady. She has a great platform, a great message. Um, she has a great team behind her. So, and this is going to be a message for a very important and very underserved community, guys. And because you know, this is like she said before, her motto is domestic violence has no gender, has no sexual preference, no gender.
Yes.
And it's important that
And
we understand that. It's important that we help all people, all victims, whether male or female, whether they're gay or lesbian or trans, all victims of domestic violence and sexual
absolutely.
assault. So,
And I want to say this: if there is a member of the LGBTQ plus community, and you want to share your story, I'm looking for authors to work with me on a co-author book. Email me. You want to get some details, and let's make something happen. I'm looking for like
there
12
you go.
authors, 12 author stops. I got people already in line, and the slots are filling up. So shoot your shot.
Y'all heard her. Y'all heard it right there, man. Y'all heard it right there. Get at it, man. Let's work. Let's work.
Absolutely.
But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to introduce to I want to introduce to some and reintroduce to others my sister, author, blogger, podcaster, domestic violence advocate, public speaker, nonprofit owner, and community and world changer, Miss April Jackson Hunter.
Ooh,
And
and the
there's that
crowd
Miss
goes
America
wild.
wave. Yes,
Ooh.
they do. Yeah. And the crowd goes bananas. The crowd goes bananas. Look, April, I have thoroughly enjoyed having you on tonight. It has been a blast and a pleasure, man. I'm
Thank
looking
you. I
forward
like working
to.
with you. I really like working with you. I'm glad our paths crossed, my king. I'm telling you.
Yes, indeed, indeed. I'm looking forward to having that book, the Queen of Darkness, in my hot little hand. So
I
yeah,
know. As soon as I come back from Punta Cana, I'm going to hit the ball running. I promise you.
there you go. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. But
Absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen, I want to just thank my guest, Miss April Jackson Hunter, a wonderful lady, a beautiful person with a beautiful spirit and a great mission and purpose in her life. So, man, you guys just rally behind this young lady and support her with her and however you can. Get in contact with her via email or just take a look at her website and just get in contact with her. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to end the show for tonight. But we will be back. My Life Has Destiny is gonna be. I think will be is back on Wednesday with another great episode. And also next Friday, I have a wonderful author, Mr. Gerald Anderson, and we're gonna talk to him about about his new book, and also his contribution to to the magazine that he's a owner of. But for now, I want to leave you guys. I want to leave you guys with this: sexual assault, domestic violence, and all the things that go with it or is a very little talked about or very smallly discussed subject here in this continent. In order for us to be in order for us to be knowledgeable about what goes on as far as domestic violence and sexual assault, we have to be knowledgeable. We have to know first of all what it is and what it is not. We also have to understand who and what it affects. It doesn't just affect one person; it affects everyone that's involved, from the person that's being from the abuser to the abused to the children to grandchildren and family members as well. Understanding what this is and understanding what it is not leads to education and to prevention. It is my hope. It is my hope and my prayer that we as individuals, we as people, begin to understand what this is and what it is not, so that we can also bring it to light, but we can also begin to serve those that are underserved. What I mean by that is the LGBTQ community, but also men. These are the most underserved. Both those communities are the most underserved communities ever, and we have to bring that to light. If we're going to talk about domestic violence in general or in totality, we need to bring those two communities to light. And when we bring those two communities to light, there's a better understanding, and we're able to help those people, and we're able to help those people find healing. We're able to point those people in the direction of people like Miss Jackson Hunter and other organizations. But until that happens, those two underserved communities will forever will continue to be underserved, and they'll continue to deal with the pain and the hurt and not only in the mental health conditions that go with that pain and hurt of sexual abuse, sexual assault, and domestic violence. We need to get it together, people. We need to get it together. But that's gonna end our show for tonight. Please, everybody, just be good to each other. Be blessed. Be safe. Take care of each other and love on each other. Until next time,
I know.
deuces.
My
Have
daddy
a great
Yankee.
one, y'all.